going right down the tubes.
New survey shows Gen Z leading the way in quiet quitting. Take a look at some of these statistics. Everything from using their phones more to playing hooky. But our next guest is not afraid of a little hard work and a little tough love. How America Works.
Yeah, I'm Mike Rowe from How America Works. Good to see you. So let's talk about this. I'm not surprised to see these studies come out and say young Gen Zers, they're not hard workers, not like this older generation. What is it? Is it culture? Is it families? What's driving the lack of work ethic in these young kids?
Well, look, you're talking about sort of the snowflake culture, and I like to say they're an easy target, and I'm going to agree with 70% of what's said, but we're the clouds from which the snowflakes fell, right? So it's very difficult, in my view, to paint. Well, it's actually very easy to paint with too broad a brush, and we shouldn't do it. So I don't want to sum up a whole generation quite that glibly, but I will tell you that this is our 15th year of offering work ethic scholarships. It's always been a hard sell because, right, eat your peas is not popular advice. Show up early, stay late, volunteer for the crappy task. These are not messages that typically resonate. And today, they still don't resonate with the fat part of the bat. But when you start to do the calculus, when you look at the cost of a four-year degree, when you look at the cost of a skill that's in demand, when you look at $1.7 trillion of student loans on the books juxtaposed with 11.5 million open positions, most of which don't require a four-year degree, you don't need to be a PhD to conclude that we're lending money we don't have to kids who are never going to be able to pay it back, to train them for jobs that don't exist anymore, which is, what's the word? Stupid.
My brother and I, for years, so we both got out of college in the 90s, and we were lucky because it was so much cheaper then. But we've talked about for years about we should have never, ever gone to college because we're both in fields that we did not study in college. They were wasted degrees.
Yeah.
And we, hope that, companies actually start going and like hiring people right out of high school. Well, in that way, or I would love to get out of school and just jump right into a job.
Look, I don't think it's got to be that binary. And I think, my liberal arts degree served me pretty well. I graduated in the end of 1984, 2 years of community college, 3 years of university, $12,000 total tuition. Same course load today, same schools, 92 grand, right? So we can't just talk about it without talking about the money. Right. Nothing in the history of Western civilization has gotten more expensive more quickly than the cost of a four-year degree. Not healthcare, not real estate, not food, not energy, nothing, right? So that's a big part of it. The good news is the phones that we have all over the tables now have access to 98% of the known information in the world. That's a liberal arts degree on the table right there. So if you have a curious mind, and you happen to have a skill that's in demand, say you're a welder or a steam fitter or any of the vocations my foundation focuses on, you still have at your disposal and probably in your pocket a golden ticket to anything you could ever want to know. So I just don't think there's ever been a better opportunity to work and to be informed on all fronts than right now, April 2023.
And you alluded to this, you're taking applications for the scholarships with the Mike Rowe Works Foundation. You're telling us a little bit about it. In these scholarships where people apply, Mike, is there like a class of people or a group of people from different parts of the country that have more success? I'm thinking about the future farmers of America. You grew up on a farm, you know how to work, you know how to fix stuff, you're a worker. Is there other people, other trades, other upbringings that lend themselves to kids that they can be successful in the view of Mike Rowe?
Yes, but right? So I've been working with the Future Farmers of America
I love them.
Since 2008, right? When I find, the connective tissue is important. The Boy Scouts are connective tissue. Skills USA, 4-H, Future Farmers. These are youth-based organizations that actually still teach work ethic in ways that our schools don't. My foundation has a work ethic curriculum now. We're in about 30 schools, and I'd like to get in about 3,000 more. Again,
what do you teach? How do you teach work ethic?
So personal responsibility, a positive attitude, delayed gratification is a big one. There are 12 tenets that we basically point to unapologetically with more earnestness than I'm typically guilty of embracing. And we just say, look, there's nothing new under the sun. I don't know any successful person, absent some trust fund babies, who haven't embraced all of these tenets at some point in their life. So if you look at what's happened in the language, right, the war we've waged on words like work ethic, these very things I'm talking about have been affirmatively scrubbed out of HR manuals in some of our biggest companies.
Is this racist, Mike?
Could be that, or it just makes people feel like it's their fault if they're falling short, which
it is.
It might be.
It is their fault.
Tell me about the old woman you met in
the
Virginia.
She was in the bathroom at McDonald's in Opal, Virginia.
Yeah.
And she was cleaning the bathroom.
Because?
And I said, you work here? Because she was elderly.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I work here one day a week. I said, how old are you? And she said, I'm 79. My name is Rita. Can I give you a hug? And I said, why? And she said, because I like work and I love the people here and I love helping them out.
Sure. That's the work ethic, to answer your question, that I'm talking about. And you know what? You can teach it, right? I can't teach you to care, but I can teach you to go through the motions of showing up early and staying late and cheerfully volunteering for every crappy task there is. That's a muscle that you can train.
Yeah.
And if you're an employer and you find that quality, I don't care if it's Gen X, Gen Z, whatever it is, you will make it very difficult for that person to leave. You will reward them. You will cherish them. You will keep them close. Rita knows that. You know, that's an old dog who knows an old trick. So
true.
To celebrate that in this day and age, easier said than done, but we have to try.
It gives someone purpose, makes them happy when we work hard, and I think the culture has undermined that. Mike Rowe, thank you for all your work.
Anytime.
I'm grateful for my parents every day because they taught me.
Speaking truth to the youth of America. I love it.
Nicely.
So
gently.
Thank you, Joyce and Dow, for teaching me to work hard. Well, and being afraid of, being fired. That's really the whole thing.
Consequences.
No, I'm serious. It's like I'm always afraid of getting fired.
If you want more information, be sure to check out Mike's website at mikeroweworks.org. mikeroweworks.org. Check it out. Sign up.